hello, this is Japan, and I figured I did a what do you call it, like prediction video for SummerSlam, and I figured why not? Let's just rate the matches. I mean, it's only been a couple days, so I should still have them fresh in my brain. And I had an order. Maybe we'll do them by order of the matches that happened. I'm like trying to remember now. Now that I say that, okay. So Logan Paul, Ricochet. See, I in my prediction video, I was actually pretty spot on with a lot of the stuff that happened. None of the guest spots that I thought, those were kind of bold, anyways. So I do understand that I was gonna get those wrong, but I did get this one right. With Logan Paul versus Ricochet. Ricochet did a lot of great stuff. I thought Logan Paul did pretty good. I thought it was a pretty great match. It was a great way to start off. I feel like maybe if I think about the other two as other ones why I'm putting them into the spots, it might change. But definitely think it was a great match. A lot of good spots, and it lasted pretty long too. I thought compared to some of the other stuff. So I enjoyed it. The next match was the Battle Royale, wasn't it? I do believe it was. And I also got this one right. I didn't know half the people that was going to be in it, but it made sense, and it kind of went according to plan. I just don't know what the point of the Battle Royale was. I like Battle Royales. Royal Rumble's one of my favorite pay-per-views. So I was on board for this. I just don't know why we needed it, you know? Like, like honestly, why did we need that? I thought it was good. Was it, man? I don't know. I think it was good. I definitely couldn't. It could have been way better. Obviously, LA Knight winning is great. I just wish there's something that comes from it. Like having Austin Theory in it was weird. I know they had like a little spot with Santos, so they could do that. It just a lot of it just wasn't it for me. I guess it was just a way to highlight a bunch of people that don't really get pay-per-view experience, which I'm cool with. I just wish they had something it was for. Maybe like they should do like a Battle Royal Cup or whatever, and they do it like every other pay-per-view or something, or every three pay-per-views. I don't know, just like a trophy or something. There's got to be something, right? I mean, we don't need a belt for it, but we need something. Next up, I think was the Cody Rhodes fight, if I'm not mistaken. I hated that fight. We've already seen Cody Rhodes go through injury, like real injury, and go through it. He didn't need any of that. He could have been like beaten down. He could have been submitted, and Cody just hold on, because I think the whole thing was they're trying to get to the part where Brock would, hey, you did great. I'm no longer going to be against you. Cool, but like they really just kept throwing him out and waiting to the count. Oh, I was so done after like the seventh time they did that. So it's kind of a trash, and I thought it was going to be a good match. I'm glad that they capped it off. The ending did, help it a little bit. So I couldn't put it lower than trash, even though we have nothing lower than trash. But it still overall is a trash match. I really didn't like it. Next up was the Shayna Baszler Ronda Rousey match, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I barely paid attention to this match. It's not my thing with just submissions. There were some good spots, I guess, but it just really wasn't there for me. Another one I predicted correctly. So far, I predicted all four of these correctly on the prediction video, which you could see on my page. So it kind of went according to plan. They kind of passed the torch. I wish there was something else, maybe like somebody coming down. I don't know. Like, I felt like they didn't really add anything. They ended a bunch of rivalries and stuff, and I feel like this was just kind of it got one match, and I think that's all we got to get from it. Next up, I think, was the Gunther fight. The other one I called, but overall was just a really good match. Do I put it in great? I'm gonna put it in good for now. It might go up there. There were some really good spots in it. I knew Gunther wasn't gonna lose because they really want him to break that record. So that kind of always kind of gets back to me. Like when I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, I have more fun. Like Ricochet, Logan Paul. I figured Logan Paul would win, but did it really matter? Like they're gonna have like one or two more matches after this, so like it doesn't really matter too much. But Ricochet's put in the work. It's worked with other people putting in stuff with celebrities. They get that opportunity to get bigger and better fans. So I'm happy Ricochet did that, and I don't even know why I'm talking about Ricochet when it's a Gunther fight. Gunther versus McIntyre, I definitely think it had some shades of how WrestleMania's match was, and I think it was good with the two, but I just we kind of knew the ending and kind of knew it was going to happen, but they're making Goodger look human, so maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the play where they do. I don't know. Next up was the Seth Rollins fight, I believe, with Damian Priest. I feel like altogether that fight was pretty solid with the sequence, and like it was actually one I got wrong because I thought they were gonna have Finn like win, but the same thing still happened with the Damian Priest being like going to help, but Finn sees it the other way, or Finn's still upset. So I think, I don't necessarily think Hall of Fame, but it definitely was the best match of the card. I think overall the spots were great. They both gave it them all, and it was entertaining. And with Judgment Day coming down there trying to fix it, the Money in the Bank whole thing, just was great. I feel like it was the best match on the card for sure, and it definitely lived up to it. And Seth Rollins' whole title run has been great, and I wanted to continue now, but that might be the end of the rivalry, but I'm not sure. Like I feel like there's still going to be, something going on with it. I mean, they faced off against twice now, and he's beaten them twice, so maybe there'll be a third. But what, we got Payback coming up. I don't see it. Maybe they'll have one more, but I kind of hope not, because that was a pretty good ending to the rivalry if that's what it is. Next up, we have the not fatal four-way. I was going to say fatal four-way. The triple threat match for the women's title. That's another one that I got wrong. I only got two things wrong on the prediction, but this was one of them. The ending result was exactly what I said. I just had Asuka winning. I'm a big Asuka fan. That's just kind of, if you see on the channel, I always say that every single time I see this wonderful person. But they definitely did her dirty on this match, and Bianca's whole thing was just a nightmare. I don't know what it is with Bianca. Bianca's had some really good matches when I've watched her, but every match she has with Asuka, it's like just watching somebody just give nothing to the other competitor, and the whole spot with her knee and all that, it wasn't great. And we already had something similar, with Cody being like, oh, I'm hurt and stuff. They really didn't need to do that on top of that, like, why go there again with the injury thing? We already know her strength. We know all this, and maybe Bianca does have like that ability like to get over with the crowd and stuff, but like just to give her this, like, I'm glad of what happened at the end with the Money in Bank cash in, because that helped. Because I didn't want it to be on Asuka, but I figured it would be on Asuka so they could have a rivalry themselves. But it felt like no matter what, from all the promos, that they didn't care about Asuka, so it was going to be these two, and then they didn't really have a match. And the ending sequence was just kind of dumb, with Asuka missing a kick on somebody who is pinned to the mat. She all had to do was like stomp her or just jump on her and pin her. So like it just, we know like what it was going to be about, but it just felt dumb, and I'm gonna put it in meh. I really didn't care for it. I love Asuka. She tried her best. Charlotte did pretty good in there. She normally has some issues sometimes with some botches and stuff, but I thought she did pretty solid. But at the end of the match, Io cashed in. I was happy about that. I called it. I think it was pretty obvious it might happen, and I really liked it. It really was a great moment, and it's one of those SummerSlam moments, and I hope she holds on to the championship for a while. I feel like they could build something with her and Bayley and stuff. This is the problem with not having like a mid-card title for the women. Like, everybody has to go for the regular title, and I feel like Rhea Ripley might go with Becky Lynch. There's a possibility she could go back with Charlotte as like a rivalry, but at the moment they have nothing to do after this. Like, they're gonna have to go after Io, and it's like, let her cook, let her have a little bit of a rivalry. Somebody have Bayley get more and more jealous, have her go against Bayley, at some point. That would be cool. I like that. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but I would like that. That's like future stuff, and I'm way above, like, it's way too far in advance. But you never know, it could happen. Next up is Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. The match itself was really solid. A lot of good spots in it. The weapons that were being used, really cool. That leather whip thing was pretty awesome, because that looked painful as hell. Like, you couldn't hide from that. everything else was just great on this match, to be honest. Like, I really enjoyed it. The surprise with Jimmy coming out, I really didn't call. I kind of figured somebody else would show up, but I really didn't expect it to be Jimmy. I guess we'll see what's going to happen, and I think that will set up a pretty cool payback match versus Jay versus Jimmy, which I'm kind of excited to see that. So I like the way it's paved. I don't know what's next for Roman after this. You know, I feel like, you know, Solo might start turning on him, but I don't think we'll see Roman at Payback anyway, so I don't think it really matters, which kind of sucks. But I think the match was pretty great. I think it was definitely the second best match on the card. The match itself just had a lot of good spots, good, you know, weapon work. Everything was pretty cool. And then the betrayal with Jimmy coming out there was great because, you know, you didn't see it coming. You knew Roman was going to get out of it somehow, but you didn't expect it to be that way. And I thought it was pretty cool. But that is my tier list for SummerSlam. I think I might go back and do the last pay-per-view. It'll be a little bit late. And but I'm enjoying these, so hopefully you guys are too. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.